Ruben Amorim has regrets. Ruben Amorim doesn't have regrets. Ruben Amorim's plan for Manchester United summer, what he did in January and what we can use from that to give us an idea of what will happen this summer. Updates on Liam Delap, Matthias Cunha as well. What happened to the Andre Onana bit? Apparently he's not going to the Saudi Pro League. Going to talk about that as well. The job cuts and the key role within them job cuts, which is going from Manchester United. Will Mason Mount start? Who else is going to start? What's the result going to be against Bournemouth today? It is match day build-up from the early stages of your Sunday morning. Hello, welcome everybody along to Forever United TV. We're excited because it is match day. I think we're more excited to see what the lineup's going to be because it's probably going to be something different again and seeing if we can see some new young talent on the pitch, I think, for Manchester United more than anything today. I think everyone's focus, as it should be, really is looking ahead to Thursday night, but there is important matters to deal with first of all. But before we get into the game, I want to talk about what Ruben Amorim said yesterday or the day before in his embargoed version of his press conference, now released late last night, and some real key questions look to have been asked by the Sunday papers section of the media, and he's gone into a lot of detail on his first 6 months in charge of Manchester United, how he feels the fans are going to react if things don't work out, his relationship with the board, the transfers, and what could happen this summer, what happened in January. We're going to get into all of that, and I'm going to read through just all of the quotes that came up with Ruben Amorim in that embargoed version of the press conference first of all. There is a poll up running right now on today's game as well, everybody. Please do make sure that you jump onto that as well. Also, we are running our Match Bingo special today as well with Match Bingo, everybody. So please do jump on board with this. I've said it and I've been going over it the last few days as well. Match Bingo, download the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen right there. It is an FUTV special today only, where only people on FUTV can win the prize. If you go on, download the app, deposit £10 in, you get an extra £20 on top of that to spend. It's only £2 a card as well to enter today. It's like going into a bingo hall, getting a bingo card, 15 numbers, except these in fact match events from today's game versus Bournemouth. They could be anything from a certain amount of corners, a corner in a certain minutes, a ball hitting the crossbar, a goal going in with a left foot, a right foot, a substitution. When them are all crossed off, you get 5 in a row, you get money. You get 25 quid. You get another line, another 25 quid. It's just like playing bingo with what happens on the football pitch. And only Forever United TV watchers, subscribers and viewers can win this prize today if you scan that code right there. Get involved in the game, everybody. More details on that at the end of the show. Let's get into what is happening with Ruben Amorim's press conference, the embargoed version. It's always the juicier bit, to be honest. It is always the better quotes. I'm going to run through them all, and then we're going to discuss them as we get to the back end of them, because there's quite a lot to get through, to be honest. He's touched on an awful lot in terms of his first 6 months at Manchester United. In terms of the big one, first of all, the regret side of thing. Does Ruben have any regrets in taking the Manchester United job? And this was his exact response to this. No regrets, not about taking the Manchester United job, and not in this moment. If you had asked me 4 months ago, with all the problems, maybe I would have felt stronger about starting at the beginning of the season. I think that's something that we've all thought might be running through his mind. Does he regret coming in November? This absolute nightmare season. But today, I have a feeling that this is something that is going to help us in the future. We are suffering a lot here. There's a lot of frustration because of the suffering. He also goes on to say, I feel in this moment, maybe because it's near the end of the season, that this is the most important time for the next few years. We are going to use all the information to prepare better for the next few years. So really what you can read from that, I think, is quite clear from Ruben Amorim, is that we've learned a lot in all of this negative, with all this negativity, all of the suffering that he talks about. We've learned an awful lot as to where this squad is, where Manchester United are at right now, and they're going to use that going forward into the transfer market, into the future, to learn from the mistakes that they have made. Now, Ineos are right behind Ruben Amorim and his system and his formation, and he isn't going to change that. We know that. He also goes on to say, I think the fans are special. I know the people understand what we are trying to do. But I also know that this moment, without results and sometimes without performances, the support of the fans will finish next season. So he's actually fearing that if things don't change this summer and the season isn't better next term, then the fans will start to turn on him. He's right in that, because the fans will start turning on him. The fans are turning now. Personally, I think he's alluding to the fans already turning. That's what I think he's doing there. I think he is saying that the Manchester United fans do need results. Everybody needs results. You cannot sit there and listen to a coach constantly saying, this is going to change. We need time. We need time. We need a future. He's actually talked about that before, saying he's not going to be one of them managers or coaches that keeps asking for time. He needs results quicker. So I think he's very, very... he's very, very aware of the situation with the fans, the expectation levels of the football club, and that results need to come in next season at least. It needs to start getting a lot better. Ruben Amorim, I really appreciate that the fans, but I also know that in the future it will finish if we don't get results. This is what we're just talking about. Maybe I am the worst coach and the worst team because we have had the worst results in the history of Manchester United. That is a fact, but I think we are improving in the way we play. Look, I think we are. This is going to bring me into some of the next topics that we're going to talk about as well. I'm just going to continue going through what Ruben has said, and then we'll just break it all down after that and get your comments in the live chat on this as well. I have no regrets on joining Manchester United. I have a lot of regrets in the week after we have lost a game. I have a lot of regrets in the small things. I am always doubting what we did in the past while trying to improve. But if you look at these last 6 months, I should have a lot of regrets about us being better in certain moments. So a lot of regrets Ruben has got. And like I said at the top of the show in the intro, he's got regrets, he hasn't got regrets. He's not got regrets about taking the Manchester United job. He's got a lot of regrets now after the way he's dealt with certain situations. He's openly admitted in many press conferences and interviews that he's got things wrong. He's a young manager, he's going to make mistakes. He has obviously had issues with certain players, and he probably thinks that he is at the time doing the right thing and dealing with the situation the right way. But always hindsight, you can always look back on things and say that, yeah, I didn't do that right. One thing he has made very, very clear is the Marcus Rashford situation. He didn't handle badly. He will know. And he knows. And one thing that he did say, and when he's talking about these smaller things, I think it's in-game, certain decisions he made, certain players and substitutions and whatnot, I'm guessing, or certain systems of play that he's implemented in-game. I think all of that, yes, you can understand it. And probably some of the moments that he's had in front of the media, where he's actually said certain things that have got the media excited, smashing the TV in the changing room, all of this stuff. It could have definitely been handled a little bit better in his eyes, and I think we can all understand that a little bit. But one thing that he said right at the start was that he will back all of his players. If you drop below that line, then that's it, it's game over. And that's what a lot of the stories around Marcus Rashford are saying right now. And we touched on it a little bit last night on Rashford. And this is proving what Ruben's saying here, that he won't change the way he is, and he knows what he wants from his players. Other decisions and quality of play, down to the quality of the player, is kind of out of his hands. And this is what he means, I think, in terms of going into what they've learnt from all of these mistakes, what they've learnt from all of the suffering so far. And he did say the team and the club would suffer in his time at Manchester United because he isn't going to change. So what they've learnt from this is now got to be rectified this summer going into next season. That's a lot of what he said there. I'll just go on to some of the other moments that he said. I don't like to defend myself, and I cannot defend myself with results. They say I have no idea. They say I have one idea how to play. People say I have one system, but in that I can see ways that can adapt into different systems. I've backed him on that a few times personally. It does adapt in game. It isn't just a straightforward 3-4-3. It never has been. I know it's tough, I know it's different, but I have nothing to say to the critics because if you look at the results, they are right. We've lost the games, basically. I will let the results in the future speak for me. I think what he's saying there, and letting the results speak for me in the future, is he'll either be in a Manchester United job, proving everybody right that he can make this work at United and his system will work and is adaptable, or he will be out of a job at Manchester United, and the results would have told him so. That's how I see that section there from what Ruben said. In January, we lost players, and you are talking about Rashford and Antony. We lost these players and we didn't bring new ones in. It was a risk, but I think that there are things here, that are more important than to score 10 more goals this season. Alluding to what you might have got out of Rashford and Antony from the last 4 months of this calendar year since they've left the football club. I think what he's done there is he's added Antony's and Rashford's goals together and said, look, it was more important what we were doing in setting our stall out and setting the standards line on where this club is, rather than trying to get an extra 10 goals this season. It wouldn't have made much of a difference. And I think what that is there, and don't have a go at me for saying this, because you all know I really don't like Ten Hag, but I think he is having a jab there at Ten Hag in a way, that he's not just kept them players around and hoped that one of them players would score a goal out of nothing just to give us a few more goals this season and maybe salvage some moments. He's looking at a bigger picture and a bigger plan as to going forward and actually trying to fix things properly at Manchester United instead of putting a plaster over the top of it. And that, I think is what he's saying there in that. We got rid of Rashford and Antony. We didn't bring replacements in because there was no one else out there to bring in, and probably because we didn't really have the right money there to bring in the right type of player at the time. Now, obviously, that's changed coming to the back end of the season, and the transfer window has extended itself, so there's an opportunity. So, for me, if United can spend money in June, in this financial period, we could have spent money in January, but we weren't going to go out in January and spend money on players that weren't worth it and weren't going to fit what Ruben wanted to do. Just to finish off on the Ruben bit now before we bring your comments in, the last one. We are trying to do something that is more important. We can hurt the squad now because in the future it is going to help the club. I think we are on that path. Like I said, in that moment in January, it was my idea to get rid of the players. But I tried to help. But I tried to help the team. I also help those players who need something different. That's all. So again, Rashford, Antony, keeping players at the club, not letting them go on loan, trying to help the players. He's analysed Manchester United in a month and a half, from the middle of November to December before the window opens, and then he's basically gone in to that January transfer window and got rid of what was necessary. He wasn't going to use Antony and he wasn't going to use Rashford, so he's done the right thing in loaning them players out to try and help everybody else as well as them players. And he's also talked about Rashford and Antony doing well on loan, and it's good for the club. They will come back and then the club will deal with the situation, but the club will be in a better position than we would have been if them players had stayed. And I think Ruben is exactly right on that. And that, I think, is key. And that was the main, they were the main quotes from Ruben Amorim from the press conference. We're going to get into your comments on this now. I think the more important comments in there and the most relevant ones are obviously the ones about the future of Manchester United, why he did what he did in January. And I think past that, he will be judged on results going into the future. Yes, he will. He'll be in a job or he'll be out of a job, and it will be next season. I've made the comments that I don't think Ruben Amorim, I think Ruben Amorim will be under massive pressure if 10 games into next season, he is not battling in amongst that top 6 at least. The pressure is going to be on for his head. It is. Because he's going to be bringing in players now into a team that have had 6 months to work on his system. So anybody that's brought in and anybody that has been recruited and brought into Manchester United into the new season is going to really be judged off what Ruben Amorim is doing with them, because I think that is the important side of this. These transfers that are coming in have to be spot on. And Ruben has also said that they have to be absolutely on the money. We cannot make the same mistakes because he knows that his job is on the line. It's a short contract and he is going to be judged properly next season. So if they don't get this right, then he's up for the high jump. He really is. And I think the pressure will be on come October, November time, with him being a year into his time at Manchester United. So, yeah, I think that was pretty much Ruben Amorim's press conference. Let's get into some of your comments now on this and see what you think. Thank you already for all the likes that are coming. If you're loving the content, please pop a thumbs up on the video, everybody. Make sure you've subscribed as well. Absolutely love that. Right, let's get into Let's get into the comments. Ellen, straight away on the Super Chat, says, if you had 2 questions to the manager of Manchester United, what would you ask? And what would I ask? 2 questions to Ruben Amorim. Yeah, I think one of them straight away would be finding out more information on the Rashford situation, because I'm cutthroat and I would want to really know the juicy gossip and the real details as to why he's all right at Villa but not all right at United. What has he said to you? Was he the key issue at Manchester United? And the second question would be, have you been surprised by how poor Manchester United's squad is and the quality of player at Manchester United? They would be mine. Anyway, because I just want to know. I want to know more about the Rashford. We all do, don't we? I mean, we've got plenty of stories, and I've been told a lot of stuff about Rashford behind the scenes as well, and I think we can all guess as to what the real issue is with him, but still. Yeah, I think that would be my question in on that one. I really do. All right, so let's get into some more. Comments from the live comments section. Let's see what else we've got here. And that's what we have to do. Rashford and Anthony are now playing for their careers. No wonder they finally play. They're playing okay. Says Shane. Yeah, it's like it was laid out there for them. Like, you have to start turning up, or your career is going to be down the way. Like, for their own personal careers, I think you have to ask the question. And I think, like, seeing the other side and not this summer camp effect of everybody being kept in this nice big red protective bubble at Manchester United, which it has been for many years. People actually seeing the grass on the other side. I think they've realised. I do also believe in that Manchester United isn't for everybody, and why our recruitment is always harder than the majority of the football clubs in the Premier League at least. MB says, Amorim adapted his original formation to suit. Biggest mistake, although it was probably the only way. I won't go into it too much yet. Don't want to upset Adam. You don't upset me, mate. Nobody upsets me. Even the laughing emojis don't get at me either, mates. But yeah, you need to stop being negative though, buddy. It's going to hurt you. It will. What are you going to do when we win a game? You won't be able to celebrate, mate. Come on. You turn it around. He can't score open goals. What about empty nets? I don't know what you're talking about there, but that might be towards Rashford. Let's see. I think the reason young players don't develop properly, in particular, because of the fans. Some of us are too aggressive with the youth. No, I don't think so. I don't. We have. I think it depends who the fan is, really, doesn't it? You could say what we're asking is that the players are obviously looked after a lot. They are, let's just say, they are nursed through the sheer amount of games that we have in a football season, not overplayed. I think the management of these younger players has been the problem, not the fans. Like, the fans are literally paying fortunes, and when you have got young players coming through and their development is being hampered by desperate managers or coaches like it has been in the past, then it's not fair on them players. I don't think the fans have got high expectations, but the fans have got to support who's on the pitch. And if these are being put out by the manager and we're having to trust in each manager that comes in, then the players ultimately are going to be the ones that get the stick. They need to be performing. If they are coming out and playing for Manchester United and they are getting multiple games, now like for instance Garnacho and Mainu, they are first team players. They are both 20 years old. They need to be performing. You're at that age right now where you at least need to be performing more consistently. That's not having a go at them. It isn't at all. I think that they've had plenty of time and plenty of support from the fans. And sometimes you could say the fans overhype them. Yes, that is a thing. I do believe in that as well. I've done that myself. I'm guilty of that. I'll hold my hands up to that. But I think if you're in Manchester United, you have to accept where you are. And this is where the club have gone wrong. They do. They protect them too much. They really do. I think Ruben is playing it better with the academy players than any other manager over the last 10 years. I really do. He's not giving them too much hype too soon. He's giving them a little taste and then bringing them straight back down to earth. Again, it'd be interesting today to see what happens at Bournemouth and who we actually bring in to the game. Rashford and Anthony were part personality, part incapable of handling the pressure. They're playing free because it's just a different level playing elsewhere. Exactly. Definitely, Daniel. Our managers have no luck. Erik ten Hag had the Sancho and the Greenwood situation, and Ruben has the Rashford situation. I would love for the next season to have no issues and just have the football to do. Well, yeah. And in that case, this is like why Ruben says this summer is so important. The club need to sell Marcus Rashford. They need to be rid of the problems. Let's not forget the issues that Anthony had off the pitch as well. And all of that palaver and saga. So that palaver and saga, that I think has to be added to it as well. Like, Ten Hag did have a lot to deal with. An awful lot to deal with. I will say that. But it's now down to the club to look forward as well. And actually get the players that are necessary, that get the players in that are needed, and get the players out which are going to cause problems going forward. I think it's quite clear in the fact that Malacia, Sancho and Rashford are all out of this football club right now on loan elsewhere. And I think they're ones that are going to be gone this summer. Definitely gone this summer. Malacia was another one. He was very, very pally with Marcus Rashford, if you remember. And I think has got some link to it as well. It must have. Right. Let's see. Football Red Devils. Sometimes players will suit different environments. We can't forget that if he wasn't called out for the US trip, would he be given a chance? Maybe, but that's life. No, I think Rashford's caused his own problems, to be honest. I really do. I think Rashford has... he's created everything. He's got the world at his feet and he's just blown it. Absolutely blown it. I have a poll running right now. What is the result going to be today? United win, Bournemouth win, or a draw? Let's keep voting, everybody. I'll keep that running throughout the show. We are leading up to the game as well in the morning show today. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround, so it's going to be this. And then we're going to be doing the watch-along later on. Big up as well, everybody. So make sure that you do join us for the watch-along later on Big Up. The link is in the description, top of the description bar, everyone. So make sure that you're there for us there. 500 votes in, and 42% of you think it's going to be a United win, which is good. In fact, it's like 65% of you think that United won't lose today, because it's 23% on the draw as well. So yeah, that's pretty confident considering how Man United are actually shaping up at the moment. You got Roz in with a super chat. Says, who do you focus on selling first? Higher profit Garnacho or Rashford? Who will get less but absolutely needs to go? No, Rashford's first. Rashford has to be. It has to be the environment and the problem dealt with first and foremost. And then we can look into what we have to do to make more profit. 100%. Cheers for the super chat, Roz, on that one. Gifted memberships gone to Gary Pearson by Angry Beaver again. On fire, Angry. Thank you very much, mate. Adam, drop the Marcus. This thing, you will feel a lot better. Nah, mate, I feel great. I'm just happy that we are talking about him actually leaving, mate. I feel buzzing with it, Gary. You don't need to worry about that, mate. I'm happy dissing him and slagging him off because that's what he deserves. Honestly, from what I've been told, I know. Yeah, he's not going to come back to Man United. Anything less than a 3-0 loss is a good result, says MA. Who's confident then? For us today, Bournemouth, a better team and manager. They have our number. Look, again, we're jumping the gun a little bit there. Like Iriola has done well in his couple of seasons, but let's see where Ruben's at after 2 seasons as well, with the right players. And yeah, we can gladly sit here then and start talking about who's the better manager. We'll see. It might go all wrong for Iriola next season. You just don't know. You don't know. Big plans for Bournemouth, though. Massive investment coming in from their owners. Now they've done that training ground, which looks mint, by the way. They're now moving on to a new stadium, which is... that's definitely needed. Adam, I haven't made my mind up on who will win the game today. I need more information. Is Onana playing? Yes. We're expecting Onana to play. On Onana as well, we spoke last night about... Santiona, who broke the news last night that that the Saudi Pro League was going to be taking Andre Onana, and a big bid was going to come in to convince Manchester United that that they should sell him. Basically, get my words out eventually. But now, Ben Jacobs last night all of a sudden has come out and said that Andre Onana is not going to Neom and he's not going to the Saudi Pro League. There is no communication there. Look. every journalist is going to have their own opinion. One is saying there is concrete talk, one is saying that he's not. Now, Ben Jacobs is known to be quite well connected with the Saudi Pro League, but I will also say Ben Jacobs has also got plenty wrong in his time. And it's like he's one journalist coming down just to put another one down. And there is going to be all of that. But he is saying yes, he is saying no, Santiano is saying yes with Andre Onana. Is it happening? Is it not? Look, if a bid comes in, United will sell him. That's all we need to know. So we're just going to crunch all of the numbers that come in and all of the headlines and reports that come in, and we'll talk about it that way. And if we feel like there is anything genuine in it, then we'll run with it. But yeah, there's some reputable journalists saying one thing and some reputable journalists saying the other. And well, it's just for us to decide what we want. But look, the season is still running. The only definites that we do know right now in terms of any transfers, and Ben Jacobs did say again regarding Matheus Cunha, that there are some really important final financial discussions going to be going on this week, and everything should be finalised pretty much from this week. There should be a pre-contract agreement in place for Matheus Cunha, and Manchester United will have a player ready to sign as soon as the transfer window opens. Fantastic. Everything that we need in a forward number 10. And that's probably the best news so far, and that is still going strong. So, yeah, in terms of that being the only concrete bit of news of a player coming in, regarding the Liam Delap situation, you're looking at that one now as a 50-50. That's being reported as... from Chris Michael, says that it's impossible to say whether Delap is going to go to Manchester United right now. The only thing that is a guarantee, he is United's top target, but he is also top target for many other clubs. If United win the Europa League, United get Delap. I think that's it, because he isn't going to make his decision until the end of the season, before the Euros, the under-21 Euros. So Liam Delap will make his choice on where he is going. And I think if United have an option of European football, I think that's where he'll end up going. Because United will be in the Champions League. So really, it's all going to come down to the next couple of weeks for United. And then obviously into the last couple of weeks of May, if we are in that final. I'm confident of beating anybody from the other side of the draw. If we get through Bilbao, I think United actually win the Europa League. I think we'll beat Spurs. I think we'll beat Bodo Glimt. We already have beaten them. So any one of them two goes in, I think we're confident of beating them. We've got to be, haven't we? We should be confident of beating two more teams in this competition. I just feel like I think we will know. Like next Thursday, we're going to get a good indication of where United are at, and I think we will win. I think we'll beat Bilbao. I do. I think with the injuries that they've possibly got, I think they're not playing fantastic at the moment either. I know we're not, but for some reason we are finding it very, very easy to turn up in European games. Another gifted membership has gone to Mucker. Thank you very much, Angry Beaver. Thanks. Creeping up to the 200 live like mark as well, everyone. Thank you so much for that. Well, yeah, get your comments in on Delap 50-50 and Cunha pretty much done. I do want to move on to the game and start talking about the game today and who might be playing. Now, we talked yesterday morning about Mantato possibly coming in at right wing back, maybe Jadon Kamasin. Are we going to see Dorgu on the right and Amas on the left again? Is it just going to be the case of that? Will Harry Maguire come straight back in? Now, the word is regarding Manchester United's starting lineup, it is going to be as strong as they can do. So we could see, well, it's arguable what is actually strong right now for Manchester United, isn't it? Because the first team players that have been playing the regular football this season have got us to where we are now. So what is a strong side for Manchester United today? It's hard to say what is these days, isn't it? But if you're saying, and there's a lot of reports going around saying, a strong backline for Manchester United would be Harry Mas on the left, Dorgu on the right, Mazraoui, Maguire and Lindelof in the back line. You could have Maguire, Yoro, Mazraoui in the back line. You could have Mazraoui at right wing back just to stay strong, and then Lindelof, Maguire and Yoro at centre back. Personally, I would go with I would like to see something different. I would. Do you know what? There's part of me that wants to see a little bit more game time for Harry Amas, just to see. But I know we've got Leon coming in as well, and we've got Dorgu already. So effectively, I would like to see another academy player like a Mantato or a Kamasin coming on the right. I can see today's lineup being Mazraoui at right wing back, Dorgu at left wing back, Lindelof, Maguire and Yoro at the back, Onana in goal. Probably see Bruno and Degate in the middle, maybe Mount, Garnacho and Højlund up front. That's sort of my guess as to what might happen today. I think that's where Manchester United are at right now. I do think that we are going to be playing a what would be called a so-called strong side, as in players that are actually supposed to be first-team players in the side today. I've just got a feeling that he doesn't need to rest too many players. 4 days before we play Bilbao, we've just had over a week off for all of these other players. I think Matt Sharpness comes into this ready for Thursday as well. I think he'll be giving a good bit of time to quite a few so-called first-team players. I think maybe 60, 70 minutes for all of the players that you would expect to play on Thursday, to be honest. I think Matt Sharpness does come into it. Would you rest players out? Get into the comments section. Would you rest players out or would you play them today? Would you go all in changes again today? Good morning, Adam. Greetings, people, from Charles. Hello, mate. Nick says, Bilbao feel the same about Man United with our injuries as we feel about them. So both teams will be confident to win. I don't know, because Ahmad's coming back and will be available for squad selection. De Ligt could be very close as well. I don't think that we're in as bad a situation in terms of players being available. I think what we've got to discuss is, do we think that Manchester United's so-called first team is good enough to win the game anyway? I think that's what we're looking at. Right, let's get a few more comments in on this. Mark my words, if Lindelof starts, we lose and lose badly, says Ginge. I don't like him either. The correlation is in the fact that Bruno didn't play under Amorim, so think about the question before you respond. That might be MB talking to someone else. Sorry, mate. You carry on. Please be civil in the chat as well, though, everybody. Don't fall out too much. Just opinions. I'd rest Lindelof until his contract expires, Adam. Best comment of the day so far, that one. I would definitely go along with that. No good. All in build momentum. We can't play Bilbao cold. Yeah, Liam. I'm kind of thinking that's the way that he's going to go. I think we're going to see a very, very... Well, it's not very strong because they haven't been playing well enough to say that they are a strong Man United 11, like I said. But on paper, I think it is going to be one of them 11s for Man United today. I really do. Adam, I think the likes of Sancho, Rashford, etc. have got too much too fast, but Amorim gives the young players a taste of what they can do and then keeps the older players in place as well. I think his structure is better, mate, Peter. I do. I think he's handling it a lot better than other managers have, or other managers would have, to that matter. I think that's where we're actually at with Ruben Amorim right now. So, yes. And with the super chat says, every time these players have had a bad break, internationals, etc., they have been bloody woeful. Just play the best team. It needs to be done. Let's see what they're made of. Lindelof equals 10 versus 12. I predict a new academy player on the left wing back today. Left wing back, Ellen? Do you mean right? Because left wing back is only going to be Amas, who's already played, or Dorgu. I think actually, when I think about it, it probably could be Dorgu on the right and the Amas on the left, possibly. And then Yoro, Maguire and Mazraoui in at centre-back, because I think that's his centre-back free for the Bilbao game. I think he will test a little bit of what he wants to play against Bilbao today. Would you start Mason Mount, by the way, everybody? Is it time? There has been a bit of talk on social media about this. Would you start Mason Mount today? It's about time he got some minutes. If he isn't going to start against Bilbao, then he should be playing today from the start, shouldn't he? Talk to me, everybody. Should we start Mason Mount today? Nice swig of coffee. Thank you, Kaz. Hi, Adam. We don't have a good record at Bournemouth. No, we don't, Mr. Dassi Sandero. And I'm not convinced we will win today. I'm thinking it could be a draw. I'd play Bainday and some of the kids until the end of the season. I get it, but we do need to keep these players ticking along as well that we're going to be playing in the Europa League. I want to see more kids. I want to see the progression of a few academy players. I would love to see us try something new on the right. I really would now that Dello's out. And maybe today is the day to do that. But I do believe that Ruben, in what he said at the top of the show there, and the quotes that we went through, the embargoed version of his press conference, I feel like he is looking at this and he just doesn't want to lose any more games. He cannot keep losing games. The pressure will just mount. I think he's now alluding to the fact that he is the worst coach and manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. I think he understands the tag that he's got. And the media, he knows what's coming after the game today. He would just like to sit there after winning a Premier League game, going into the Europa League game, I think. Rather than, again, do you feel bad that you have lost this game because you're resting players because your season's been so bad, you've had to put all of your eggs into the Europa League basket? Questions like that, I think he would love to be avoiding today, I think. But he's just not going to be easy for him at all. And Bournemouth obviously still fighting for European positions as well, because the situation with the FA Cup winners is really going to determine who gets European places. So Bournemouth have got more to fight for today and play for. And that's the horrible feeling. It's like, are these Manchester United players going out on that pitch with the mindset of, I want to be playing on Thursday, I don't want to do too much in case I get injured? That's a horrible feeling as a fan when you've got that. You've got all of these Man United fans travelling down at a crap kickoff time on a Sunday, down to the South Coast, and all they're thinking is, why are we bothering here today? We're going to have a bit of a sing-song and get behind a load of players that really probably don't want to be in this position right now. I think the last 3 Premier League games we've played at Bournemouth, we've won 1, we've lost 1, we've drawn 1. So 1 winning 3 at Bournemouth. Honestly, I would take a draw today. I think that would be a good result for Ruben Amorim at Bournemouth. And just to give us that little bit of solidarity going into the Europa League game on Thursday against Bilbao, like a bit of togetherness. We didn't get beat again. Sounds sad, that, doesn't it? It really does. But I think that's where we're at. We're clinging on to the little wins right now, aren't we? And the little wins away from home at Bournemouth, a draw is a good result, because they have taken down pretty much everybody this season at Bournemouth. I think there's only Liverpool up there challenging that have actually managed to get a decent result at Bournemouth this season. Issue is we could lose with our strongest team, says Ant. Yeah, we could. We may well play Mount. He can then have his 16th game in 2 seasons, or 16th start in 2 seasons, Andy. Yeah, I would start playing Mount from the get-go right now. But you're going to have to find out what he's made of. He's fit enough. He's fit enough to start the game. And you're going to have to find out sooner or later if he's going to be an option for you going into the summer. Because Mason Mount being fit or Mason Mount breaking down again could be a big difference in how much money spent on that area in the summer again, and what Man United have to invest into their forwards. Because bringing in 110 might not be enough. And that right there is what you're up against, because there'll be a decision that needs to be made on Garnacho soon. Do we sell him to bring in more profit to go out and spend more money because Mason Mount's not fit enough? Do we have to keep Garnacho because Mason Mount isn't fit enough? All of these decisions, like, we need to find out now. Like, Mason Mount's been back for a month, near enough, and he hasn't started a game yet. It's time, and it's the right game. He's had a full week of training again after the game against Wolves last week. No reoccurrence of any injuries. He's still fit. It's time. We need to start seeing what he can do from the start, I think. And Mason Mount now needs to show us that he's fit enough to actually compete for a place in the starting lineup. It's gone past protecting him time now, I think, for Mount. He has to be in the team today for me. Why is it so obvious to us fans and not the coach? Junior, he's talking to someone else there as well, but I'll just carry on with this. I would take a Heaven over him all day long. A pity he is still injured. I'm not sure who you're talking about there. I've missed the other part of that conversation. Definitely over Lindelof, I would say that. Amorim needs to balance the squad while sticking to his original structure. If he can't do that, then he doesn't really have much hope of doing better than other managers. No, he needs to stick to his guns. And he's going to be given the chance this summer to bring in the players that he needs. And then we will assess and we will judge everything of what Ruben Amorim does next season, because I think that's fair. There are warning signs now, when I get it. I'm not going to ignore that Ruben has got a lot wrong. I just think that I will want to judge him properly off the back of players coming in this summer and getting that fresh start and full pre-season. I want to see him given the same amount of rope that Erik ten Hag was given. That's what I want. We're not going to be able to spend the same amount of money on him, which is unfair as well in a way. And we're having to deal with the crap that Ten Hag brought in. Wasting money, basically, is what we're having to do right now, or what Ruben's having to do. Right, more comments coming in. Let's get through as many as we possibly can. Because of ego, managers these days don't connect with fans. Alex Ferguson used to visit fan clubs and discuss players. These days, we would have been here in the chats listening and talking to us. I think that's just times. Times are changing. It's not so much managers' egos, mate, I don't think. I get what you're saying. It is different, but I don't think that's down to managers' egos in particular. I think that's just a changing thing, a generational thing, to be honest. Number 7 shirt has been dead ever since Michael Owen won it. The magic's gone. Oh, God, I know. Honestly, right now, we should have just given the 7 shirt to Bleeding Bruno, to be honest. Someone who's actually going to wear it week in and week out at least and not be stuck on the sidelines. Just put the 7 shirt on someone who's going to be fit, or just retire the bleeding thing. Let's see. Also, about the wing-backs, we should do Amorim at right wing-back with Roger Fernandez being as backup and Dorgu left wing-back with Amas being backup. Leon should be loaned or in the academy for next season. No, you don't go out of the way to bring someone like Leon in and spend about £4 million and put him in the academy. That's something that United won't be doing, I don't think. Leon will be back up for Dorgu. Amas will be third choice if he stays. That's how it's going to be. I'm pretty convinced of it. You wouldn't go out and get someone like Leon and make that effort to bring him in after being first-team football over in South America. Yeah, albeit Paraguay, but still, first-team football. You don't spend that money and then not play him. I think he will be ahead of Amas. I think Amas is up for grabs this summer, I do. I think maybe a loan for him, or someone could come in and buy Harry Amas. Maybe United are putting him in the market right now for someone to come in and buy him and make some profit on him. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. You're all thinking it and don't want to say it, I feel, but I think that is something that's going through Manchester United's plans in their heads as well financially. Amas being sold. Maybe you could get 10 million for Harry Amas or something like that. I mean, it seems a bit steep now, but if he keeps on playing now from now until the end of the season, and United bring in Leon and replace him, then in the summer, you could be looking at Man United making £10 million worth of pure profit. I don't know. I would love to see Harry Amas make it, but there's a lot of players in front of him, and you have to be realistic. That, I think, could be a possibility this summer in Harry Amas being sold on. Definitely loaned out. I had a great show. Heard anything on Lookman coming in and Rasmus going out? It was just a rumour going around, mate, to be honest, Phil. It wasn't so much a dead cert or anything really significant or concrete in it. It's that Rasmus Højlund is up for sale at the right price. United are after Atalanta players. Lookman is going to be sold this summer by Atalanta. And I think people have put 2 and 2 together. United won't be going for Lookman because it's too much money and we don't need a player in that position. If we're going for Cunha, we're not going to be going for Lookman. If they offer us a striker, Mategui, or a number 8, Atalanta, a number 8 to Edison from Atalanta, I'd take either one of them two as a better option and swap in Rasmus Højlund 100%. We can't swap Rasmus Højlund and bring in Edison and then not bring in a striker, though. So I think that's how we've got to look at it. Give them Rasmus for as much as we can and go and buy and go and get Edison, is what I say. If we could swap Edison for Rasmus, that would be the best bit of business that United have ever done. But then we would still have to go out and buy a striker. But apparently we've got that 30 plus million in the bank already for a striker because we're ready to bid for Liam Delap and we can afford that. Is there anyone else out there that we could stretch 30 million for a striker if we don't get Delap? I think there is. I do think there is. And one of them players, like someone in the chat said the other day, well, Jonathan David's there on a free. Yeah, you've got agents' fees and signing on fees, but he's going to be cheaper than Delap. You've got Mbeumo, who Brentford want 50 million for. Can you stretch the 30 million plus on Delap to Brian Mbeumo, who's more Premier League proven and scoring more goals than Delap this season? for another mid-table side? Would you rather have him come in and swap Rasmus for Edison? I would. That would work for me. I would gladly take Jonathan David or Brian Mbeumo at Manchester United with Cunha, Bruno, Ahmad and Mount behind him. I think that definitely changes things up. And again, it depends on Manchester United's profile of player situation again. Like certain ages of players. I think we are prepared to spend 50 million plus on a player over the age of 25 if he is of a certain quality. I think that's what Manchester United's vision is. Flash just put his team in for today. He's gone Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro, Ahmad, Edison. No, that's not for today. Sorry, that's the future by the look of it. Sorry. So Onana, no, not Onana. Change that. But this is what he thinks he's going to be. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro, Ahmad, Edison, Agate, Dorgu, Bruno, Cunha, Delap next season. That's on fire. Flash is happy with that. It would be a different team altogether, that. You could actually have Heaven in for Mazraoui as well, possibly in there. Edison and Agate, Bruno, Cunha and Ahmad as the three. Oh, sorry, no, he's playing Ahmad at right wing back there, aren't you? Yeah, Dorgu left wing back, Ahmad right wing back, Edison and Agate, then Bruno, Cunha and Delap up front. It's different, isn't it? It definitely is. Don't forget, we are going to be flying across to Football Talks right after this show, everybody. So please do get involved in that. The link is in the live chat there as well. Again, quickly, today and today only, Match Bingo, our match day sponsors, are doing a bingo special for us where we are just going to be Forever United TV members, subscribers and followers in on the game. So please scan the QR code on the screen right now or drop into the description. Download that link. My link will take you directly into our Match Bingo game where it's only going to be FUTV viewers that are going to win the prizes. Match Bingo, 15 match events from throw-ins to goals to crossbars to substitutes. If you get all of them, you get the jackpot. If you get 5 in a row, like playing bingo in the bingo hall, but with things that happen on the pitch. It's brilliant. It's fun. There's not much thinking behind it. It's only £2 a card. Please download the app right now or scan the QR code on the screen in front of you and join the fun later on. You are missing out. It's going to be a ball. We're going to be doing the watch-along on Big Up later on for Bournemouth. So this is going to be my last show leading up before the game starts. Obviously, I'll be live right after the game with the instant reaction on the Bournemouth match today. But for now, that is us all wrapped up here on Forever United TV. That is your Sunday morning show. We're going to jump across now to the paper round where we're going to be talking Watkins going to Liverpool. Interesting, amongst other big news flying around right now, and a really interesting story regarding what Premier League teams are going to have to pay because City are about to beat the Premier League to a pulp in their court case. Really interesting read on that one. Join me on the show in just a few moments' time on Football Talks, everybody. Thank you, mods in the chats, and everybody else with all of your comments live right now. Drop your comments in below on all the subjects here on Forever United TV in the comments section below. Have a brilliant one, everyone. I'll see you over on Football Talks in just a moment's time. Make sure you subscribe to Forever United TV and pop a like on the video if you've loved the content. I'll see you all in just a moment.